Today we're going to have a little visit to Headland Garden in Polruan. It's a garden that belongs to a private house, and it opens itself between June and August for people to have a look round for a small charge. The money from that, a lot of it goes to the RNLI to help pay for the crew, maintenance of the boats, etc. Here's a little leaflet they give you when you go to walk round. As you can see, there's a little sketch there from one of the arches in the property. And then it gives you some breakdown of the history of the garden and the various different plants and shrubs that we'll find in there. The garden itself enjoys a wonderful position right at the entrance to the estuary. Although the garden's not huge in size, it does have a lot of terracing because obviously it's on top of a cliff, as you can see from the leaflet there, so you get lots of paths. And there's a quick map of the various paths that you'll find within the garden. It does go right down to the beach level. Then as you come around the corner, obviously the cliff gets steeper and the path comes uphill. We have a quick view from the top of the garden. As you can see, the view is absolutely spectacular right the way around from St Austell Bay through to Ready Money Cove and up towards the entrance to the harbour estuary. And there's the property itself. It's not a huge property, funnily enough, but it occupies a position which is undoubtedly amazingly spectacular. They get a good view of all the boats and ships that come in and out of the estuary. As we start to move our way down the garden, you get a little view up the estuary. There's the little sort of, I suppose, area where you could tie up a boat, little beach, I think they call it. One or two of the properties have access to that, as you'll see as we get a bit further down. The house itself has lots of little nooks and crannies where they'll find benches and seats, etc., and snippets of views. As you can see, we're working our way down now. The view across the estuary is absolutely spectacular. The house I'm zooming in on over there is actually one that's owned by Dawn French. I think it's one of her holiday homes. That occupies a very prominent position on the opposite side of the estuary. We dropped a small video clip and we have a quick look around. The wind's blowing quite strong. I think you'll find there that although the plants and shrubs can kick off early because of this southerly climate, their sort of range is held down by the fact that the strong winds that blow up across the bay, you have to have sort of quite hardy plants to grow there. As you can see, the colour of the water is absolutely crystal clear. The railings down there lead down to a little slipway, which the property enjoys. There's a bit of blue paper flapping around. There was actually the leaflet they handed to me as I went in. Quite a few daisies scattered around the gardens. I would say if you're looking for a totally perfectly manicured garden, this is probably not what you're going to find. It's more, shall we say, rustic in its charm. A lot of the bushes, etc., are quite well established. Some potentially you would consider overgrown. But as you can see there, that right on the edge of the cliff, the wind must whistle across there in the winter months, which can possibly make gardening quite an adventure. However, when the sun does come out and it's all nice and warm, the plants do shoot up left, right and centre. Down there you can see the little steam launch Gallant, run by Clive, who's taking people on trips up and down the estuary. So that's roughly how far it comes down. It's well worth a trip on that. It's only a few pounds, and it gives you a good half an hour or so tour of the estuary. As you can see, I sort of put the camera over the edge of the cliff a little bit. You've got quite a dramatic view. You can certainly see how steep that cliff is. Obviously, you want to keep your gardening within the boundaries of your garden. There's a number of terraces as you follow the map around. We're now looking out across St Austell Bay. Over in the distance there, you've got the headland, which will be Mevagissey. The day we took a tour around was absolutely wonderful, and I think that's it certainly helps to bring people in who like to have a look around the garden, looking across St Catherine's Point, Ready Money Cove down there. There's another one of the little snippets of views. There's some quite Mediterranean style plants here. You get a sheltered position, and you do get like a sun trap, and it can really hold some plants. I mean, the weather there could have been equal of the south of France. You see the daisies. I say the plants have to be quite hardy in some areas, but if you like looking around and finding little discoveries, you'd love the garden, because it's lots of little nooks and crannies and paths that crisscross that provide sheltered little areas for various assortments of flowers that crop up. The garden certainly must have taken many years to construct. There's a number of little dry stone walls, seating areas, lovely views in all sorts of different directions. Well worth a visit for the small entrance fee that we had to pay. You get an area like this which is some degree of shelter, the temperature quickly rises, and then on the odd occasion you get a visit from a helicopter that just appeared totally unannounced and disappeared up the estuary disappearing as quickly as it came. As you can see, lots of boats out there. We'd had a couple of a dry spell, so you can see it's quite dry on the walls there. There should be a white cross down there on those rocks just at the bottom left. That's believed to signify the actual extent of the parish or church boundary. So once you went beyond that, you were outside of control of the church. We're sort of coming back up the garden now. We've sort of worked our way across in different directions. Another view of the cove there. You can see the little boom running across the entrance to it, which indicates the safe area for bathing. Dredger heading out. That dredger had been over to the fuel barge in Polruan, dredging out the area there. Back to some more pictures of the flowers. Must admit, I'm not a 100% gardener, so I apologise for not knowing the names of all of these. That one looks a bit gorse-like, if I'm honest. I've seen that one before. And some daisies, which seem to love the sun. And a view out again across the bay. And that concludes our little visit to the Headland Garden. And well worth a visit. They also sell a little tea and biscuits for anyone who wants a quick refreshment. And so all the money that goes to the RNLI.